Bulgars and Magyars. After the decline of the Avars, the chief role in Turco-Mongol Europe belonged for a time to the Bulgars. These people, who appear to have been of Turkic origin and related to the Kutriga Huns, had, during the second quarter of the 7th century, built up a powerful realm northwest of the Caucasus, between the Kuban Valley and the Sea of Azov, under the Khan Kuvrat, leader of the Bulgar tribe of the Onogunda. After Kuvrat's death, the Khazar advance cut the Bulgar tribes in two. One portion, led by Bayan, one of Kuvrat's sons, remained in the territory under Khazar suzerainty. The descendants of this branch are believed later to have moved northward in the direction of the Khamar and Kazan, and there founded Great Bulgaria, which in the 13th century was destroyed by the Genghis Khanite Mongols. Their latest descendants are thought to be the Chuvash of today. The second Bulgar group, led by the Khan Asparuk, another of Kuvrat's sons, moved westward, crossed the Danube in 679, and settled in ancient Moesia. Emperor Justinian II, protected amid the Byzantine civil wars by the Khan Tervel, Asparuka's successor, officially recognized this appropriation. A century later, the Bulgars of Moesia, under their Khan Telets, marched on Constantinople, but the Byzantine Emperor Constantine V crushed them at Anchialus, near modern Burgas. In 811 another Bulgar Khan, Krum, beat and killed the Emperor Nicephorus I and had a drinking cup made of his skull in the ancient Hunnic manner, but in 813, when he laid siege to Constantinople, he failed like the Avars before him. His successor, the Khan Omertag, made peace with the Byzantines. The conversion of Tsar Boris in the middle of the 9th century, and the increasing Slavic influence to which the Bulgars were subjected were to separate these people from the bulk of the Turkic nations, and integrate them with Christian Europe. The ancient territory of the Avars was occupied at the end of the 9th century by the Magyars or Hungarians. The Hungarian language belongs not to the Turco-Mongol but to the Abugrian section of the Finno-Ugrian group, and between these two linguistic groups no intimate connection has yet been found. Nevertheless, it is possible that at the period in question, the Hungarians were politically organized by a Turkic aristocracy. Arab geographers such as the author of Hudud al-Alam and Gardisi seem to distinguish, or confuse, two Magyar groups, one of which remained in the Ural Mountains, where the Vogel still live today, while the other emigrated first to Levidia north of the Sea of Azov and later to Atalkuzu, which is the plain between the Lower Dnieper, the Carpathians, the Serey, the Danube Delta, and the Black Sea. At this time, the same Arab geographers, as also Constantine Porphyrogenitus, speak of the Mudgari as Turks, no doubt because both groups of these Finno-Ugrians had been organized by Bulgars, those of the Urals by the Bulgars of Khamar, those of Atalkuzu by the Onogunda or Onaga, who in the 9th century occupied the southeastern region of the Carpathians. The name of Hungarians, to denote the Magyars, may have originated with these Onaga who mingled with them in the second half of the 9th century. Other sources link these Finno-Ugrian Magyars with another Turkic tribe, the Kabars, who are associated with the Khazars and who are believed to have given the Magyars their royal family, the Arpads. The presence of an Onaga or Kabar Turkic aristocracy among the Magyars would explain the Byzantine protocol by which, in the exchange of ambassadors under Constantine Porphyrogenitus, Magyar chiefs were always referred to as princes of the Turks. Around 833 the Magyars were living in Levidia, between the Don and the Dnieper, within the clientele of the great Turkic Empire of the Khazars. Toward 850 or 860, driven from Levidia by the Pecheneg Turks, they entered Atalkuzu. They reached the Danube Delta around 880. In their new Danubian domain, the Hungarians continued to be clients of the Turkic kingdom of the Khazars, see below, and it is believed to have been a Khazar Khan who, as suzerain, appointed a young noble of the Kabar tribe, named Arpad, to be prince among the Hungarians. Shortly afterward, the Byzantine Emperor Leo VI, being then at war with Simeon, the Bulgarian Tsar, called the Hungarians to his aid. The Hungarians, led by Arpad, crossed the Danube and put Bulgaria to fire and the sword. But the Bulgarians then appealed to the Pechenegs, now masters of the Russian steppe, who attacked the Hungarians in the rear and forced Arpad and his people to take refuge in the mountains of Transylvania. At that moment, Arnulf, king of Germania, at war with the Slav ruler Svyatopolk, king of Great Moravia, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Western Hungary, decided like the Byzantine to appeal to the Hungarians. Arpad came in haste and overcame Svyatopolk, who disappeared in the conflict. Great Moravia collapsed, and the Hungarians took up permanent abode in the country which was subsequently named after them. From there, their bands sallied forth to ravage the west. They invaded Italy as far as Pavia. In Germany they crushed the last Carolingian king, Louis the Child. They launched a raid into Lorraine, set fire to Pavia, passed beyond the Alps to the Frankish kingdom of Burgundy and Provence, another raid load, to Attigny in Champagne. They plundered the region of Reims and Sens as far as Berry, and devastate Lorraine, Champagne, and Burgundy. The days of Attila had come again, never, it seemed, to end. At last, on August 10, 955, Otto I, king of Germania, overcame the Hungarians near Augsburg, a victory that put an end to the invasions. On that occasion the Germanic world saved Europe. The conversion to Christianity of the Hungarian king Vake, baptized as Stephen, was to change the destiny of his people. In the reign of Saint Stephen, first as duke and then as king, Hungary entered upon a new vocation. Having been until then the terror of Europe, she was to become its surest defense against the assaults of Asiatic barbarism, the shield of Christendom. From the Mongol invasion of the 13th century to the expulsion of the Ottomans in the 17th, the life of the Magyar people was to be one long, heroic, and glorious crusade.